YouTube exclusive audience, thank you! Yet again, we are in the palatial, smartest state of my bestie!
Yeah.
RJ, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Let's get it started right now! Hello! Welcome to my daily report card, where every day is a continuous test with no subject. What's your answer? And what's it meaningful? Wow! We are on location in Chicago, people! And I'm geeked because, one, I got a mimosa in my hand. It's Sunday Fun Day right now, August 14th at 10:43 a.m. in Chicago! And you say Shy City! But most importantly, no, you're heard. You're heard.
Just checking.
No, you good. You good. Sir. No, you good, sir. You good. Most importantly, out of all the things, the most important thing is the friendship, which is with my bestie, my real dog, RJ, right here, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here, even though you're at your own home. Thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it, man. We've been having a wonderful weekend out here in Chicago, and man, I'm so lucky to have just a brother like this. And I always have to give my brother some flowers. And we even got Milo. We got Saba in the background making some breakfast. So hey, shout out to her. And let's start it, man. First song of the day is funny because I heard this song on that I reposted this thing that was so me for I'm the party starter, not the party ender. And behind that was Keith Sweat, Twisted, and I've been singing that all day. And I went on a Keith Sweat binge at 8 in the morning. So that's it. Twisted by Keith Sweat, song of the day. This is our last song. I know this is a small playlist, 13 songs, 50 minutes on our 26 playlist, on our 26th season, on our season. What do you call it? Finale, I guess that would be. What about you? Song in your head?
Oh no. I feel like it's a couple of songs from yesterday.
Okay.
So,
we was in them streets.
Yeah. London Bridge, that came across.
Ooh.
Yeah.
2088. Oh man. London Bridge.
And then also BPT.
Oh, YG!
That was a classic album. I keep telling everybody lately, that was actually a really good album.
I need to get that vinyl.
Yeah, I don't know what YG did after that, but that first album was special.
Well, he was hungry.
Yeah.
When you get money, it hit different.
You don't think about it no more.
No.
That hunger subsides.
That's right. You're not hungry.
You're not.
Literally.
Stomach growling.
Stomach growling.
LeBron, you want a cookie?
Right. Hey, if you guys ever watched the old Muppet commercials from Nike with LeBron and Kobe, the year he won his last championship, and they were expected for a crash course in the finals, but LeBron didn't make it, and somehow the Orlando Magic made it. We're just going reminiscing off that. What did I read today? And I'm so happy my bestie is here because he's an avid reader himself, even though I know he'd just be reading all the books I'll be reading and just one or two of his own. But today I actually just finished Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And
Simon's a good one.
So good.
It's a good one.
So good.
Yeah, if you don't subscribe to his YouTube page or follow him on Instagram or LinkedIn, I say follow him. He's giving great leadership advice.
Seriously.
Yeah, so.
And this man, I really took his books as a two-part series, starting with Why and Leaders Eat Last, because I was going to try to start with Leaders Eat Last, but he was kind of using the premise of start with why. So I just had to go back. I stopped in like the first chapter and then just went to start with why and then came back. So amazing read, so good. And the version I had, he's talking about like, he has an appendix of, how to leadership advice on how to lead millennials.
Yeah.
And so good. Yeah. So good. What about you? What did you read?
Oh man, I haven't read it yet, but Saba and I just recently got a book. Charlemagne actually is the one that mentioned it. Ego is the Enemy. And it basically talks about
I've heard about the book.
Yeah. Like Kevin Hart was making a point about like him having a relationship with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. If you don't know who the people's champ is,
if you smell,
jabroni.
I've been watching random YouTube clips of Stone Cold and The Rock.
Oh, bro, like things they used to say in the 90s was ridiculous. Like if you watch some of them old clips, like nowadays they would get crucified for some of the things they said.
They were so charismatic though. They had lines for days and days and days. Like they're so
Julian,
good.
Do you like pie?
Right. I remember that.
Strudel.
They were going there.
But yeah, like you was talking about how
Thank you, say. I'm thinking of your sister. I'm sorry. Thank you, Saba. They're gonna put in on this.
Why she on your mind? But he was talking about how, like we get in our own way because of our egos at times, and it messes up relationships.
Oh,
so it's
absolutely.
like, Kevin Hart just recently released Tequila, and The Rock has a tequila as well. And he was like, like there's enough for everybody to be in this marketplace. Like we don't have to compete. You can eat too.
Yeah.
Like, and you're my friend. I want to see you win just as much. I want to see myself win. And a lot of times you get into this competitive mode where, I want to be better than you. When, like, at the end of the day, like, that'll ruin a relationship because there's enough for everybody to eat. So the book talks about how to address those egotistical ways, and basically combating those. Because, like, everybody deals with egos all the time.
Absolutely.
It comes out in different ways for different people. So it's always just being mindful of that.
Wow. And that's crazy because a lot of it is just thinking less of yourself and more of others too. Yeah. And it's super hard in the moment because, we just revert back to what we know and just self-preservation and things like that.
Stomach
gravel. So, I totally agree with that. I'm gonna have to check that out too, honestly. Was I physically active?
See, he always talks about I steal books for him. There's one for you. Jim.
Hey, yeah, that's true. But I see at least 10 books that I'm sure I gave you or I put you on. But anyway, that's fine. Was I physically active? Yes. It was tough because RJ's palatial estate, their workout gym is closed with exclamation points. Like, it's a handwritten note outside of their gym. And I had to make it work, man. Luckily, my bestie took me on a walk with Milo, and then I was able to just do some ab workouts on their yoga mat. So we went to Mental Gainesville. What about you? I'm trying to get my bestie to get back into the mode, man. We need to get this physical fitness. We 30 plus, brother.
You're right. You can't eat an ice cream. So I remember when I was younger, like my dad's military friends was like, as you get older, you ain't gonna be able to eat them ice cream sandwiches like you used to, or ice cream sundaes. They're gonna stay with you for a couple of days. So I'm
different now.
Yeah. So I need to get back active. Like I know we went for the walk Thursday. Had kickball, had flag football today, but we're going on a boat later, so can't make that.
Boys.
Yeah. Like I try to get active Thursday. Something I was talking about like making goals and
being intentional about it.
Yeah, being more intentional as far as like your workouts because you get, especially with everyday life. This goes to like relationships and things too. You know, you just get in a rut. Like,
Yeah.
you get caught in like, hey, you know, I'm going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Then whenever I get off work, I'm allocating this much time to me just chilling and relaxing. And then
Right.
you look down and you're like, damn, like I don't feel like going to go work out now because you're just mentally exhausted from mentally and emotionally exhausted from like just the day. So yeah, it's just like persevering and being able to be like, hey, I'm gonna go out and still work out. So being more intentional about like the goals that I set forth.
Well, we came up in the military, and I was thinking this myself. Maybe we just gotta get up a little early and do it in the morning, because that's how we did it.
You're right, but I also feel like that was something that was mandated.
It
like,
was, but it worked.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's I feel like it's different now when you know you have to hold yourself accountable.
Yes.
Back then, people were holding you accountable. Like, hey,
no, we had to. That's how we ate. That's literally how we ate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your stomach will be growling.
Literally, it was before we went there. Before we was able to work out in the morning.
So, like, just being mindful with like the goals that I set forth, and actually, you know, doing it. So yeah, like that's my goal for myself. Moving into the next year of my life that's coming up. So yeah.
Birthday coming up. OVO.
It's October's very own.
On the 6th himself. What did I get from the meditations? Make a way, be the reason to inspire. And this one I actually got from Leaders Eat Last. Abundance destroys value. And that really hit, because when you have too much of something, you don't care about it.
No.
You don't hold any value to it because you have so much.
Yeah.
And I really had to sit back on that, like, wow.
You know, that goes to like surplus and you know, price and demand. You know, the price is going to go down when you have a lot of inventory on hand.
Oh yeah.
So I totally like agree with that. Like it's just like whenever think about the person that hit the lotto recently for what is it, like 400 million?
Woo.
Like, and their kids that may grow up and be like privy to this money if they don't burn through it.
More likely they're gonna burn through it. That's like the most common thing that happens to lotto winners, honestly.
But you gotta think about, so even if we think about like Jeff Bezos' kids, they have no idea the value of like what money is,
right?
And you know how it could be gone here today and gone tomorrow. They're never gonna like be witness to that.
They say rich kids are cursed and poor kids are blessed.
Yeah, like, you know, like I can't remember what interview I was listening to and they were talking about that. I think it was Shaq. He was talking about that. Yeah, it was Shaq, because Shaq's a big believer on like, you know, like this is my money I earned.
Right.
Like it's not my kids' money. Yeah, I'll help y'all get in position, but like I don't want y'all to grow up thinking that life is sweet and you could treat people any type of way because you know you have the resources to do that.
Yep.
So yeah, like I definitely agree with that, especially, you know, kids nowadays.
Well, now you're making a little bit more money, sir, too. So you're thinking about that as well.
Yeah.
He's doing all right for himself, people. Seriously. What did I succeed at? I'm gonna just say, just being present, being with my bro, and just enjoying the moment. And I just really feel lucky. And I'm just succeeding at being here with my brother. That's my success.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to. I'm about to beat you to the next question. So where did I succeed at? One area that I could think about is taking accountability for things that I do, as far as like, you know, mistakes along the way and how people make people feel.
Right.
Such as like I have a tendency to bring the asshole out sometimes and make passive comments.
Right.
So, like whenever I do that and how I see it land with other people,
right,
like I'll apologize. Like if I say something that, it's a tongue-in-cheek comment, but it offends Saba, then I'm like, hey, you know what? Like I apologize for that. Like that wasn't my intention. The one thing that, my previous boss stated to me is, understand the difference between intent and impact.
Damn, that's a bar.
Yeah. So like your intent may have been something totally different, but the way it landed is what matters. Yeah. So always think about things that you say or do and how it may land with that person.
Damn.
So yeah. So and just being around this guy over here is what makes me smile. Like I was telling Saba, I didn't grow up with like brothers, so
right.
Like him and Ryan are
shout out
R.
We were just talking to him today.
Are two people that I view as like brothers, and whenever they call me, hey, I'm in town, if it's like 30-40 minutes, I'm gonna try to make a way for me to see them, because spending time with the people I love is what brings me like happiness and makes me feel whole. So yeah, like that's what makes me happy.
When I tell you this man steals my books and now he's stealing my answer, but on a different question, that's fine. That's fine. What made me smile? We had went to a gala yesterday. Thank you, Saba, for having to get off work late, because I just had such a good time, and it was so, it was an honor to see. It was for the Tuskegee Airmen and the next generation of Black aviation, which is Tuskegee Next, and just to see those giants that paved the way in a time where it seemed impossible, and seeing those. We even had sitting literally next to me was a young man, probably less than 21 years old, that was about to get his pilot license. And I was just like, wow, this is so nice. So that made me smile.
Yeah, especially since and
thank you for taking me, RJ.
You're welcome, bro. Like growing up, whenever we flew, you really didn't see a whole lot of people of color in the cockpits.
In the cockpit.
So nowadays, it's one thing to address it, but it's another thing to actually implement some of these tactics and
putting your money where your mouth is.
Being intentional with your recruiting efforts, and actually having people of color in these captain seats, not even just first officer, but captain seats. It's beautiful to see. I know we came a long way. We still got a long way to go. But we're starting to see traction on the road. And one thing that I always even focus on as far as recruiting and everything is seeing just the all Caucasian crew.
Right.
That's not a representation of the USA. I'm trying to tell you, when you think about the country and how the country was built, it was built on immigration. So us as a collective, having diversity within the whole crew, from the flight attendants to the first officer to the captain, that's a more clear representation of what America looks like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautifully said. And what grade do I give myself? People, I'm going with the A. Because I really feel like I made a way, and I tried to stick to my principles, even on vacation, and even as RJ was talking about earlier, when working out, just starting my career less than 3 months, I'm seeing that too. When you work all day, and then you try to do something for yourself, not even including kids, not even including family, not even including any extracurricular thing that you want to do on like by yourself, like my daily report card, for instance. It's hard, and it takes energy, and you really got to gut through it. And I've been trying my best at really doing that. So, what about you? What's your grade?
You know, I'm gonna go, probably like a B plus. You know, like I wanna be more. I wanna be better to the point of, you know, having that mental fortitude to be like, I'm going to go work out.
Right.
Like that's my main thing is being more intentional with my eating and workouts. You know, like they always say like weight loss starts in the kitchen, but I have a unhealthy addiction to food.
Oh man, me too. Oh my god.
Like I just feel like, you know, like just get complete satisfaction from like a good meal.
Food is so good.
Yeah. It calms any storm. I would say that. So, yeah.
It brings happiness.
It does. It does. Like I understand why people eat whenever they're sad or depressed because you know of that feeling, what it brings you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Bestie. I appreciate you for being on the show. Give us some last words before we end it.
I feel like I was talking about it yesterday when they asked that smart ass comment, do I feel like I always need to win?
He put it on wax now.
Yeah, for sure. So
keep going.
I was like, you know, like it's not about like winning the race, it's about starting. As long as you started, it doesn't matter where you end up, as long as you gave your best. So I would say, like, even when I gave a scenario, I was like, oh, that's a pretty good scenario. Like, if Usain Bolt came across, it was like, hey, let's race. Like, the winning statement is saying, I raced against Usain Bolt. Like, it's not like, oh, he beat me by 50 meters. He beat me by the whole 100 meters. We was at the blocks and he was gone.
Right.
But no, like, you were in the race with him. Like, one of the greats.
You're with the best.
You're with the best of the best.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, if you were racing against Michael Phelps, like, these are people that you could sit here and be like, hey, you know, they respected me enough to say, hey, I want to go with you.
I'm gonna be on the same track with you. I love it. Man, thank you, Bestie, and really appreciate it. Once again, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're one of one. Thank you. And thank you, YouTube audience. We appreciate it.